Hey guys, welcome to another Idol Insider video. I know that this video is posted a little bit late because I am filming it a little bit late. I got questions about a week ago and I just really didn't have the time to film it because I was going through some family problems and just taking care of things. But I am filming it now, and for those of you guys who have been waiting for this video and patiently waiting for this video, thank you guys so much. It really does mean a lot to me. So the reason why I chose this topic was because recently I've been keeping up with a lot of K-pop news because I am doing Idol Insider and I want to be kind of updated on things, and I've just been seeing so many negative comments on just posts and articles about idols or people in the K-pop industry and just even just in the entertainment industry in general. I mean, it's not something that is like new, but I do think that it's definitely have gotten worse, and I did want to talk about this matter because I feel like people should know more about it in a way, because there are some things that the companies might do, how idols feel, and you know, I can't be just like speaking for every idol, but I do think that it is a very important topic that shouldn't be dormanted and should be talked about, and also that people should change in a way, because I really do feel like it's something that's so important, just like with mental health and stuff. So I really hope that this video is gonna be somewhat of a help to you guys in how the idols and companies might feel, and also just maybe like a step to changing your guys' viewpoints, or just even I hope that we can make somewhat of like a little bit of a change. Yeah, but anyways. So for the first question is, have you ever gotten hate comments, and if so, about what? I have received a fair amount of hate comments while I was promoting, not so much now. If it is now, it's more usually like talking about like things like you can't speak for all idols, and that is true. But the first thing that I remember, I got a lot of comments about my weight while I was promoting, and it was just really stressful because it was something that I was always insecure about even growing up. So as soon as I started getting a lot of comments about just like my weight, I do think that it was something that kind of affected me while I was an idol. And also another thing that I gotten was like, oh my god, you're so obnoxious, your voice is so annoying, or like you're not even like good enough to be an idol, like, you know, your face is like not good enough to be an idol. I got just like a lot of just comments like that. But yeah, those are just some of the comments that I've gotten. And the next three questions are going to be fairly similar because they're kind of in the same category, so I kind of put them together so that it can be just like a certain like section that we can just talk about. So the first question is, I've heard that some companies offer free therapy. Is it true? I wouldn't necessarily say it's free. It is probably going to be going on like your debt, or just like you do have to pay for it. I mean, some companies might do it for free, but most of the time it's not that like every idol needs this certain like free therapy. It's only going to be the ones that actually like ask for it, or the ones that the company thinks should take the therapy. So I don't think it's free, but I do think that they will be offering to help you. And also, do idols go to therapists, or do they ask for help? Like I said, a lot of idols these days have been asking for more help, and even just people around me too, because I do feel like just the amount of comments that they got from back in the day and now, it's just going to be so different because social media and just like different platforms have been just growing so much, and SNS is just so embedded into everyone's lives that I feel like you're bound to just get more comments, either that's hate or love. And I do think that a lot of people are asking to go see therapists, or just even asking for help or reaching out. One thing I do want to say about visiting a therapist in Korea, it's not like a lot of people do go to therapists. I'm kind of careful in the way I talk about this, because if you're an idol, it doesn't matter, because if you're just thinking about doing that as your whole career, it's fine. Anything that's like related to health is gonna go on your health record, and if you are seeking a different job or just like another job opportunity after you do not want to be an idol, it might be a little bit harder to get a job, especially in Korea. So a lot of people don't even go to therapists, or just they take care of it through a different type of route because it goes on the record. So I know that a couple of idols might not, because this might be a certain thing that is on their mind. But I do think that some idols really do ask for help when they really need it. So another question that I got is, depression very common in the industry? Most definitely yes. And like I said, it's really hard for a lot of idols to come forward with that, because it is really hard for some idols to even go to therapists or just even seek for help, because they might think that they shouldn't be. Because I know that a lot of idols, especially for me, when I was first, receiving hate comments too, my initial mindset as like a person that was not as well known as like other idols, or just even like a rookie, I thought to myself, I shouldn't be even feeling these type of feelings, because there's probably so many more people who are going through so much more worse hate comments and they're still coping through with it. So I shouldn't be feeling this certain way. And I do think that a lot of idols might feel that way, either that, they're like at the top, or like, it doesn't matter. But I do think that my mindset back then was definitely off, and I do think that a lot of idols would feel this way, because even within like our members, we would always say like, man, like we're like such rookies and we're like not like that well known, but like we shouldn't even be feeling this way, because like people are probably going through things worse than us. And I do think that we would always kind of like think that in our head. But a lot of people actually really do go through depression, either you're famous or not famous. It is a very hard job and a hard industry to work in. So yes. Companies should protect their idols. Why aren't they? This is, I do think that they don't have control over everything, especially if you have social media. For example, if I have a social media, they aren't going to be the ones that are controlling my social media. There are some companies that control artists' social media, but if an artist has their own social media, they're going to be the ones coming face to face with their comments more than the company. So the company can actually go through the comments, but they're not going to be going through every post and every video just to find hate comments, because they have so many other things to do. So I think that this is what a lot of people kind of like mistake for, that the companies aren't really taking time in finding the hate comments. It's just really hard to, and unless it's just like an official like group Instagram page, or like an official group YouTube page where they're the only ones that are kind of navigating and also posting things up, then it might be a little easier. Other than that, I think that it's just really hard for them to find every comment and like do anything. The next question is, do staffs take negative comments or put it on the artist? Do they like change or blame the artist? It depends on what type of comment it is. I remember as just comments about like my weight, my company did kind of inform me on that, which was something that I was already stressed about, but they're like, oh, you should, like eat more. And I'm like, I eat a lot, and I think that it was just really hard for me, because I felt like nobody really understood what I felt. It was just kind of like they thought that since people are concerned about my weight, that I should do something about it, when for me, I thought that I was, eating and I was doing everything that I can to just even maintain my weight, because we're constantly like dancing and stuff, and my body type is the type where it's a little bit difficult for me to just gain weight. And I got to a lot of like comments about that too, like, oh my god, you should be like blessed. But for me, it was something that was also an insecurity and something that was very difficult for me. So I do think that even when my company saw stuff like that, or just like saw pictures, they would say like, oh my god, you should like go eat. And I'm like, well, you only give me 7,000 won to eat in a day, like what are you gonna make me do about it? Like I need to split that for lunch and dinner, and like somehow end up gaining weight. So wow, that was a little bit of shade, I'm sorry. In what way did negative comments affect your life as an idol? I wouldn't say it always affected me negatively. There were some comments that I took as constructive criticism. Other than the ones that were like really negative, I just really tried to not look at them at one point because it would just stress me out even more, which is hard because I was constantly on like social media or like, you know, checking my Instagram or just like looking at the videos that the company posted, so it was really hard to not look at the comments. But I actually for a while did not look at comments at all or just any commentary about the group or me. I thought that was good or bad. I just really didn't want to look at comments. So I think that was my way of kind of, you know, going through with it. So do negative comments cause idols to leave their group? I think not just the group, but just the entertainment industry in general. I do think that a lot of people, at one point, they're just tired of receiving negative comments or just even just like that attention, that amount of attention on them, that they really do just kind of retire from the industry and so on. How do you block out all of these negative comments? One way where I kind of figured out how to block out certain comments, especially on my YouTube, is that you can block out certain words and keywords on YouTube. So all the negative words and the just comments that I got, I would kind of just block out like the certain keywords so that I wouldn't see the same type of comments on my comment section. So that is one way that an idol or even like a company might take into consideration into kind of reducing the negative comments. What's your take on why people get so negative in online comments? I don't know. I wish I knew. I wish I knew why they do that, because I never personally like have written anything like hateful in that type of like context or matter, but I do think it's because it has something to do with just how their inner heart and just how they are on the inside. And maybe they're just frustrated and they want to take out their anger, or just they want to petty somebody, or they want to kind of, you know, bully somebody in a way to make themselves feel better. Not that that's like a good reason to, but you don't know like what they're going through, and I do think that maybe it's because they're going through something that they want to put whatever they're feeling onto someone else so that they feel somewhat better about themselves, is why I think that there are negative comments. How do companies sue against comments that are anonymous? It is really hard to kind of sue somebody that's anonymous, but I think that a lot of companies will either find the ID and then contact, like if it was like a Naver article, then you can find like the pin for that, or just like the ID, and you can also just send them like a lawsuit or files for a lawsuit. It's really hard though, and that it's anonymous, because they could be like, oh, it wasn't me. Like, I don't know, somebody might have hacked into my account. It could be endless of their way of trying to get away with like it not being them. So a lot of people, or just in Korea, they are trying to pass laws where comments have to be written in their official name, like their actual name. It's still in the talks, and I don't know if it's going to be passed by, but I do think that if that happens, a lot of people are going to be commenting less, because your name's going to be on there and they're just going to know who you are. So I do think that a lot of people are going to be more afraid to type in comments. I do think this is a good idea, but there are going to have to just have some privacy issues as well, because what if they want to write a good comment but their names are like all over it too, and they don't want that because they want privacy. So this is something that's like in the talks. And another thing that I've recently heard about Kakao is that they're taking action, is that all the news that's on the celebrity section, they are going to be making it so that nobody can comment on it and it's just the news. I personally think that this is a really good idea, because it's just you're reading the news and that's it. So all the celebrities who are going to be having articles on them, especially on like the Kakao articles, there isn't going to be any type of commenting on it. So even if the idol or even if the celebrity themselves see the comments, see the article, they aren't going to be seeing the comments, which is a great thing. Do idols actually read comments? I do think that yeah, I do think idols read their comments unless they do not have phones and they're not taking care of any of their social medias. The idols do read their comments, and if the idols don't read their comments, their families will still read the comments, and the families will be very upset about that and also be like, how are you doing with the comments? So please know that like there are families who are reading the comments too and like seeing the comments, because I feel like for me, my mom was always just like on top of just like my posts and videos more than I was, and I do think that it affected her in some ways when she saw comments like that. So yeah, I think that's like one thing that I would really want people to know, is that like families see it too, you know, and it just really affects them. It just affects everyone around you. Yeah. Do idols talk to each other about them? Idols do, and I've actually talked to a lot of my idol friends about just comments, especially when I was just starting off and I was receiving comments, and the people who were like doing like the idol scene for even like 2 years, I would be like, dude, how do you like cope with just like all these negative comments? And just be like, you know, either that it's like hate or love, you're still getting the attention, and you know, like just be thankful for it and just don't care too much about it and move on. And it's like easier said than done, but I do think that a lot of idols really do try to overlook it and try their best to not get affected by it, because one negative comment is not going to define who you are, and there are so many other people who love you in the world that it shouldn't matter about that one comment. And just because one person hates you, like not everyone's gonna like you in this world, you know? Yeah, anybody who's feeling that type of feeling, like, I'm here for you. Do people fighting for you in comments cheer you up? Definitely sometimes if there's a comment that I cannot make commentary on because it's just gonna cause more of a situation, I see like a person like who comments right under it, like, you know, saying something or like kind of sticking up for me, it really does make me feel better, because I'm like, yeah, that's it, you speak for me, like, you know, and it does really make me feel better. And even in just like some of my YouTube videos too, thank you guys so much, because I do read some of the comments and I don't reply, especially if it's like a negative comment, but I also see people who kind of like stick up for me or like, you know, say, hey, that wasn't nice. I do think that it's people like you who really can make a difference. So thank you guys so much. Wow, that kind of got me teary-eyed. Okay. Back then, I would even ask my stylist to give me like bigger clothes, because I was constantly hearing from like so many people that like just things about my weight, and even like I was afraid of like getting like fam cams of me, because that's like solely just you. If it's just a group, like, you know, like you're gonna be blending in, I would be really self-conscious about like the fan cams, because it's something that's filmed and you're the only one in it. So yeah, those are like the things that I kind of dreaded, because yeah, I just didn't know what the comments would say, and I would always be like telling myself, oh, can I have like something like baggy or like, you know, like something like oversized. So most of like the stuff, sometimes I would wear oversized shirts or oversized, you know, things so that it really wouldn't show as much. Fan wars, or is it just an internet thing, or do some things actually happen? Fan wars. I've never like really known any like fan wars that have happened, but I do know that there are like online fan wars and like fights, but I don't think that there are actually things that happen in general. The things that do happen is, for example, if certain fandoms were in a fight and both of their fans and both of their idols were at a certain like event or a certain venue, they will either kind of disrespect the other idols, like fans, like, or like the other idols, because they were mad at the fans. That's like kind of what it goes off. For example, when the fandom that they hate and the person, like the idol group that they're like, you know, being crazy over comes out, they'll either be silent and I don't know, I just kind of feel bad for those idols is because they didn't do anything wrong. It's just like the fans who kind of like fought for it. But I mean, yeah. Why do you think female idols are more affected with negative comments than men? This is something that's, I think, a stigmatism, because I don't think that only female idols are affected more by it. I do think that a lot of male idols are affected by negative comments as well, and that's because I know a few and a lot of them are affected by it. It's not like they aren't affected by it, but I do think that they just try not to show it as much. I do think that both parties will feel the same way about negative comments in general. So actually, one more question that I want to talk about is, why do idols keep reading negative comments when they know it will ruin their self-esteem? I don't think that they're like doing it like, oh my god, I want to find a negative comment about me. I do think that it's because if they are taking care of their social media by themselves, when you upload a post, you are going to be seeing the comments that are there, either that they're good or bad. And I do think that like the negative ones might stand out more, but I don't think that they're like purposely trying to find negative comments. It's just that you're bound to just see them. Either that's a video or a post. So I do think that a lot of ways how idols cope with it is that they'll either, you know, like block all of the comments, so all you could do is like it, and that's either like, or disabling the comments like on the YouTube section. It's like one or the other that they could do to kind of like stop it, and a way that idols do to stop it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and that I was able to talk about some of the topics and the matters that should be talked about. I don't know if it would be a satisfying video for you guys, but hopefully I answered all your guys' questions, and if not, if you guys have more questions on this topic, feel free to leave it on the comments down below, and I will try my best to answer them or, you know, talk about them with you guys. I really enjoyed this topic because I feel like it was something that kind of was out of my comfort zone, but I felt like it was right to talk about. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and be on the lookout for more Idol Insider videos and just more videos on my channel. It will mean a lot if you guys can like and comment and also subscribe. You guys don't have to, but it will mean a lot. And yeah, thank you for watching. Bye.